Hello, Annette. How are you?
I am doing amazing. How are you today, Anita?
I am so blessed and highly favored, feeling good. Let me tell you. It is good to feel good. And hello, movers. How are you doing? We're so glad you tuned in tonight. You could have gone anywhere else with your time, but no, you chose to come right here in our room for our conversation tonight to join into this great conversation with your favorite co-host. You've tuned into Can We Talk, brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move. Yes, we are a movement to move, helping others thrust into their purpose so that they can live the best version of themselves and win. We've tapped into some winning information with some winning resources. We're seated at the winner's table, and we invite you and you to sit right along with us, right, Annette?
Yes, that is so right. Hey, listen, we got room at this table, so come and join us.
Hey, do like the saints say, like the saints used to say back in the day. Come where the table is spread, and the feast of the Lord is what?
Guan on.
You notice she didn't say going. She didn't say going, and she didn't say going. She said guan. Well, the feast
Guan.
of the Lord is guan on. Yes, we got it right here. And she told you that there's plenty of room at this table. We're so great. We're so grateful to have y'all. Hello, Connie. How you doing? I'm just saying hello to some of our movers who have already tuned in and put up a good hello. And they say hello, movers and shakers. Hello, prophetess Sharon Elaine Green. Hello, how you doing? It's so great to have you in our presence tonight. Amen. Amen. The prophetess is in the building. Let's bow for the prophetess. Yes. Listen, I know she's talking about right about now. The prophetess is in the building, y'all. And we're so grateful to see you, Elder. And we love y'all. And guess who else is in the building? Grace Union Completion. Come on, Annette.
Completion.
Oh, she's been waiting to do that for a minute because Grace been out for a minute. She's been waiting to say her completion. You hear that vibrato? Do it one more time, and then one more time.
Completion.
Look at that. Yes.
I was practicing, Grace.
Oh my God. Oh, look who else is in the middle. Hello. All right now. Good to see you. Ain't seen you in a while, Milishani. Ain't seen you in a while. We're so grateful to have you with us. Sherry said, y'all better bow. All right, good people. We're so grateful to have you in our presence tonight to join into our threefold conversation. Before we get started, I want you to do a few things for us. Please, the video that you're watching, it's either on Facebook, YouTube, or X, formerly known as Twitter. So we are streaming live on all of those platforms. So please make sure you subscribe or follow the platforms, all of them. If you're on YouTube, slide on over to Facebook and make sure you join the group and that you like the page. If you're on Facebook, make sure you slide over to YouTube and subscribe. If you're on either one of them, slide on over to X, formerly known as Twitter, and follow us on Twitter and retweet, share. We want you to hit those like buttons, those thumbs ups, those hearts, and click that arrow button and share. Let somebody know that we're on, and let them know, look, you better get in the room because the table is spread and they got a feast tonight, as we do each and every Wednesday. So thank you all. Subscribe, like, and share. The other thing you can do is sow a seed. We're a nonprofit organization. Any seed sown into this ministry, we always pray that it returns to you 100-fold. And the ways to give, our Cash App is $Movement Worldwide. You can also zell us at info@movementworldwide.org, or you can opt to come into a covenant partnership with us by giving a monthly seed by becoming a patron. And what you do, you want to know how? Net, they want to know how.
Yeah.
They want to know how. Should I tell them how?
Yeah, tell them, Anita.
I'm going to tell them. Okay, this is how you do it. You go, bam, you go to our website, movementworldwide.org. Come on, go there now. Even if you're already giving, or if you're already a patron, or if you're not going to become a patron, just take a little moment right now and give us a little traffic. Go to our website, movementworldwide.org. you can click the red button at the top. It says become a patron. It will take you to a website called patreon.com where you can set up your account and set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day, $2.80 a week. So please, ma'am, please, sir, you have all these ways. Listen, Cash App, Zelle, Patron, they're all there. So please sow good seed into good soil. We love your ENCE, need your ENC. We cannot do what we do without your ENCE. What is ENC? I'm glad you asked. Your PRESENCE, that is your presence. You being here with us, somebody to talk to. So we're happy that we have you, that we can talk to you, but we also need your gifts, your seed, your PRESENTS. So we need your presence, ENCE, and your presence, ENTS. So thank you so much for every seed, no matter what the seed is, all greatly appreciated. The other thing you can do everywhere you see that globe above Annette's head, please follow us, that acronym movement. Follow us on all social media platforms. And you can also email us your thoughts, views, comments, praise, reports, prayer requests, topic ideas to info@movementworldwide.org. Now, without further ado, we're going to get into our conversation. I've been in class, and unfortunately, it's taking up so much of my time. Oh, listen, but it'll all be over soon. It'll be all over. Might not be in the morning, but it'll be over. It's been several months of Sundays. Yes, it has. And we're so glad you are here tonight. So without further ado, we're going to go into our transformational topic tonight. The transformational topic, that those idioms, those phrases, those thoughts, those quotes, those things that make you go, You hear it and you go, So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to go into our first fold conversation. We have a threefold. Our first one is that transformational topic. So we're going to go into our transformational topic tonight. And our topic is, I feel like running. I know somebody went, listen, and that when I say I feel like running, I can already see right now some of the saints, they sitting in their chair and they heard me say, I feel like running. Like,
oh my God.
They started, they felt that, and then all of a sudden they went into Oh, sorry, I was caught up, y'all. So I feel like running. So let me tell you, this is an interesting topic tonight. In 1994, there was an American comedy drama film released. I know some of y'all probably still in the running mode because I know. Listen, I felt like running when I put this together. I felt like doing it just like that. There was an American comedy drama film release directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by Eric Roth called Forrest Gump. I'm Forrest Gump. It's based on a 1986 novel of the same name, and the movie stars Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Gary Sinise, Michael T. Williamson, and Sally Field. One of my all-time favorites. Well, there was a part of the movie where Forrest, was in a perplexed state. I mean, he was struggling. A lot of things were happening. Him and Jenny had a fight. He had been to war in Vietnam. He had lost his good friend Bubba. His mama died. He had a whole lot of things going on. And I know that sometimes when you have a whole lot going on, you just want to run. And he was overwhelmed. And I myself have actually used this quote many times. And I would say to one of my friends, girl, I feel like running because I see so much ahead of me. I see so much ahead of me that I was like, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just feel like running because it's so much coming at me at the same time. And I know sometimes when we get busy in our lives or if we're in school, some of us are going back to school at 50 something and you're like, oh Lord, what did I do this for? Because I was one of them. And I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Why am I going to school at this age? Because my brain don't even work no more. And sometimes when I have the pressure of homework, the pressure of a lot of things that are weighing on me, I didn't have the strength. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I just didn't have the strength. I didn't have it in me. I didn't have the strength or the will to do anything. It's like I feel like kind of stagnant. I know I need to do, but I can't bring myself to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I find myself in a place where the only thing I can do is, either go to bed and pull the covers over my head. Like that's gonna make it go away. Ain't gonna make it go away, but I would feel like I'm in a state that I can't even function. And that's when I would feel, much like Forrest Gump, I feel like running. So I would feel like running. And I would just want to take off and run. See, but I want you to see something here. Forrest, he said, I feel like running. And he took off running and he just ran. And he ran and ran and ran. And he ran to one side of the earth, and then where there was snow, and he ran to another side of the earth where it was mountains and all kinds of stuff. And he had people following him and all of that. But Forrest, I want to take us in another direction, because Forrest ran without direction and without a destination in mind. He was just running. I feel like running. And then the people just following him. And then I'm not going to go there, because, some people just do that, right?
Yeah.
See somebody else do something and they just do it. They see somebody else running and they run, because they were just running and they didn't know where they were running to. They didn't know what they were running for. All they knew was that Forrest was running and they wanted to run too. And so they're all running behind him. And his beard is growing. He's looking dirty and scruffy and raggedy. And he just running. And when he felt like stopping, he just stopped. And he turned around. They're like, what is he going to say? What is he going to say? So it was really, without purpose. I want to read something into your hearing. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 9:24-27, and I'm quoting the Message Bible. I love this version of it. He said, you've all been to the stadium and seen the athletes race. Everyone runs, one wins. Run to win. All good athletes train hard. They do it for a gold medal that tarnishes and fades. You're after one that's gold eternally. Yours won't fade. See, like Forrest got to the end of his run, and he had a beard all the way down to his navel. He was raggedy. His clothes raggedy. Everything is just a mess. And he just turned around and just started walking home. And just like runners, you go to the stadium, you watch them run, and like the Bible says, it says that the metal tarnishes and fades. It also says, I don't know about you, but I'm running hard for the finish line. I'm giving it everything I got. No lazy living for me. I'm staying alert and in top condition. I'm not going to get caught napping, telling everyone else all about it, and then missing out myself. Ooh, let me tell you something. This thing hit home so hard, because a lot of times when we think that we're going in the right direction, we think that we're focused on the journey, we think that we're focused on the destination, and we're doing like Forrest. We just run that. You just running. Oh, I'm just giving God all the glory. Oh, I just love him so much. Oh, Father, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I just love you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. Get my nails done. All of that was just a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing. All you're doing is just making noise, but you're not worshiping. You're not running the race. You don't have a destination in mind. You don't have a focus. You're not concentrating on the purpose. You're just joining in and running like those people who just joined in with Forrest and just ran. And oftentimes when we're running, even when we think we have it in mind and we don't know for sure, but we're running and trusting God, I want to tell you that some of you may have it just like that. You might feel like you're just running like Forrest and you don't know what to do, but your heart is in the right place. And you really, really, really believe that you heard God. I want you to know that God will give you grace for the race.
Yeah.
He will give you grace for the race. And I thank God for his favor over my life, because even when I make a wrong turn, God will always provide a way of escape for me. He will give you grace for the race. And if you quit now, you will forfeit everything. You will forfeit your blessing. You will forfeit your purpose. You will forfeit even actually helping your family. God might be leading you down a road to be a help to your family, to be, something to someone, to make a difference in lives. God might be calling on you to be the next richest person in the world. But, oftentimes we don't realize it. We don't realize the power that we have within us according to the purpose that God has blessed us with. He's blessed you with a purpose and a destination and something to do. You have things to do. And it's more than you just sitting down, doing nothing, and just waiting. Oh, God said He's going to bless the child. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to sit and wait. Next thing you know, and you done slept. Listen to that. You done slept through the blessing. But yes, He gives you grace for the race. He'll give you favor. He'll give you what you don't deserve. He'll give you what you need. He'll get you back on path if you just trust Him. You may have gone down a wrong direction and you may have wasted a little bit of time, but guess what? It's not completely wasted, because then you're learning lessons in the process. You're learning something. So, you have a purpose to fulfill. You have a destination to meet. So if you quit now, you won't see it. We often say this, that we take it from scripture. The race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one who endures to the end. So you can't take off out the cage, just like, you ever seen the Greyhound race? Boy, I remember they used to be in Daytona.
Yes.
Oh my God. Have you ever been to the races in Daytona?
No,
I've been to the High Line, I've been to the dog races. And when they open those gates, and it seemed like the dogs just like all over the place. And their legs are so long and they're just running aimlessly and without, it's like, but that's how some of us come out of the gate. But the one who's enduring, you got to stride and you're steady. That's even, my track coach used to tell me, stop listening to the person footsteps in your ear, and stop paying attention to the fact that you're at the back of the line if you're in line, because the person on the outside is going to be up, because the track is the way the track is built is you're going to appear to be behind until you all get on that straight and narrow straight for the end. But if you start running like, oh, I got this, I'm ahead of everybody, if you're on that outside lane, and then if you start running crazy like, oh my God, I got to catch up when you're in the inside lane, you just have to, you're going to miss it. Because the person on the outside, they start strolling, and all of a sudden they get around that corner like, wait a minute, hold up, how y'all caught up with me that fast? You all started off at the same time. And then if you have the person on the inside and they start running off really fast, and then they run out of steam and they're not able to finish. But you have to run with a strategy in mind. You have to get your pace. You have to get your stride. So God will give you the grace to get your stride together so that you can endure to the end. So tonight, I want all of you to be encouraged about this race. I want you to be encouraged about your run. We took off 2024, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And right about now, you're realizing that you're a little behind because it's already January 10th. And some people haven't even done anything, because you should have started last year, but some people haven't done anything for 2024 and talking about having meetings and doing things now. Now is not the time. The time was well before. We told y'all before 2024, we weren't waiting. We were starting now, as we were getting that head start because it was available to us. So the word that I want to use tonight, y'all know I like to take a word and deal with it from a transitive and intransitive tense. I kick that verb and break it down. A transitive verb needs an object to make sense. An intransitive verb makes sense without one. My word tonight comes straight from the title, and it is the word run. That word run in an intransitive tense means to go without restraint. The transitive tense means to thrust. And that's one of Annette's favorite words. Which is when I always say helping others thrust into their purpose. Why the word thrust? And what that word means is to push or drive with force. So you got to put some steam behind your legs. You can't, just come out the gate and stroll. No, you have to push or drive with force. And you have to endure. That means you have to have that steady pace. And you get that steady pace where you start off, and you know that when you get to that home stretch, you got to push it with all you got. And I can remember back when I was oh my God, I remember one time I was running a race and I was so tired. My legs felt like jelly. We were at the end of the race, and I had been leading, but I had kind of pushed out a little far without getting my stamina up. And when I got around that bend, I was like, and it was this little boy, I remember his name, Woodrow Cooper. I said, Woody is not going to beat me. Woody is not going to beat me today. And I started giving it all I had. I couldn't even feel my legs. That's just how, and I just like, for something in me just went, and I felt like I was in place. I could have like fallen to the ground because I couldn't feel my legs, but I knew I was moving faster, and I shot out ahead of him, and I beat him by, I think it was maybe 20 to 30 feet that I beat him by, and he was right upon me. But I had a little bit of stamina because when I came out the gate, I started off like a crazy maniac, and then I kept my stride because everybody was far behind me. But then all of a sudden I felt myself lagging, and when he came up, I was like, so I had to drive with force. I had to put some action and some oomph behind what I was doing. So that means that when you come out, y'all came out the gate, you got to put some power behind what you're doing, people. Don't, even when you're slacking, you got to get the right people in your ear. You can't have people in your ear saying, child, you just need a vacation. You just need to stop. Sometimes you got to sit down. No, you need to have somebody tell you, no, and that you can do this. And that you're a woman who raised 3 girls and they are awesome. You did that by yourself. You bought homes. You did those things by yourself. You worked your job 30-something years, and now you done started businesses and ministries, and you're doing things that you never thought you would do. So when somebody can talk to you like that, they can help thrust you into your purpose so that you can live the best version of yourself and win. And that's what it's about. It's about winning this thing. And all of us are winners. I want everybody to type in the word win. I'm going to get it in on me right now. Let me type my word in, win. I want you to type in win because I want you to have that mindset. That is the mindset that is going to get you across the finish line. That's the mindset that's going to get you to your purpose. You are a winner. There is a winner inside of you. And I want you to continue to look at yourself in the mirror. And I want you to say, you know what you're going to do today? You're going to win. You're going to win today. We're going to win. I'm going to win. But why? Because God says that he has given me grace for the race. I read it in scripture. I can see where God's going to give me this grace. He's going to give me this stamina. He's going to give me the push that I need. He's going to give me, hey, listen, when he gives you a vision, he gives you provision for the vision.
That's right. Come on now.
You are a winner. That's right, prophetess. Prophetess say, I am a winner. Yes, you are. I don't know, Annette, if you were putting no comments up or not.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
All righty. So that is our transformational topic for tonight. Annette, your thoughts?
Yeah. One thing that really blessed me, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I don't like that movie. Forrest Gump is a little irritating. My husband actually, he looked at it a couple of days ago. That's why it's kind of funny. I like the movie, just the shrimp part, the shrimp. I mean, how many times you talk about shrimp? That is so annoying to me. But one thing that caught my attention with the movie is that when you said, I feel like running, you got to make sure you're running your race.
Come on.
Because so many times we run a race that don't belong to us. Because Anita was saying, I did actually watch the movie, one of the few movies I watched, and all these people just running. Mm-hmm. No direction. Like I say, no direction, no purpose. You know that song. Yeah. But anyway, they were just running. And so, when you feel a run, make sure you pray, say, God, okay, is this the direction that you want me to go? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, because I'm guilty of this, and maybe I always feel like I got to do something. Mm-hmm. I got to do something, so the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but the one who endure. So you don't have to be the fastest. You just get out there and do it. Just because I know for so long, and I'll say this, I helped somebody else with their race, and they were never concerned about where my destiny was.
Preacher.
And so, we were even taught, Anita, we were taught that when we first started in ministry, if God give us a vision, it's to go on hold if we're under a man of God until his vision is fulfilled. Mm-hmm. The devil is a liar. Again, we was helping somebody run their race.
We would still been mannequins if we'd have done
that. Come on. Yeah. No kind of anointing. We was just there because why? We was trying to run another man's race. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that was very powerful when you said that. I went back to the race we ran for a season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes it'll be just like that. You run a race, and you run a race for somebody else. You're helping fulfill somebody else's vision, helping fulfill somebody else's purpose. But what about mine? Because I have one, and there's no time limit on when it's supposed to be fulfilled either.
That's right.
You can't tell somebody that they can't release a book until you release yours. You ain't got nothing to do with them.
And that's the stuff we were taught, which was erroneous.
It was mad. That's mad man mentality. Like what? Really?
Uh-huh.
And if that person would have waited, they would have been waiting 20 years.
Come on.
That's how long it took him to release his.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna come off of that.
Yep. I thought about that. So,
Yes, so true, so true. So that was our transformational topic. And listen, I hope it blessed you. I hope it inspired you to stay in the race, stay the course, don't give up, don't throw in the towel. It's not time yet. You got work to do. So right now, y'all, we're about to shift gears and we're gonna go into our toast. Pull out your mug and give us a toast.
I was ready for my toast.
Yes. The skinny ladies on the coffee mug. You see the skinny ladies on the mug there? Don't we look good? Ooh, we look so fine, so fine, so fine. So that was our transformational topic. Y'all know we're getting ready to pause for a moment before we go into the next phase. We're going to pause for this woman she's a quotologist. She's a linguist. She's a writer. She's an author. She's a poet. She's a whole lot of things, but she comes to us with a presentation from her organization, and she's going to give us an Annette-ism. Oh yes. She has these little sayings, these little readings, and she calls them Annette-isms, and it kind of gets down into your skin. It gets in your soul. So we're going to pause our Annette-ism right now.
Not the soul.
In your soul. We're going to pause our Annette-ism, but we'll be right back. So you still have time to share. You can still share this broadcast and let somebody know, listen, you're missing out. The conversation is going on. You need to jump in it because they saying something tonight. And y'all know we always got a whole lot to feature. But we're going to pause our Annette-ism for about a minute and something, and we'll be right back and diving right into our next phase.
Lady Justice wears a blindfold, which is supposed to signify standing for justice for all. Now that's just one big lie. While lifting the blindfold, she's peeping with only one eye. Looking through the lens of mediocrity, girl, bye. There seems to be time when she don't care if we live or die. Trying to use the letter of the law as a way to justify people treated inhumane, some we will never be able to identify. With so much injustice, it make me want to cry. I shake my head in utter dismay and ask myself why. Some will just sit and watch as things go awry. But I will fight injustice until God cracks the sky. There are many in this fight with me, I can't deny. Fighting for justice when others just stand by. But I do believe that all we need, God will supply. Lady Justice's eyes are covered. God sees through his eye. This is Annette-ism's expressions.
Amen. Amen. All right. Now it's time to move on to the next part of this wonderful organization we have here. And it's called the Power Tool. There are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes it just take a conversation to mend a broken heart or spirit. And sometimes it just touch you down to the core of your being. In some cases, a Band-Aid won't do it. It just won't work. Because it just can't cover all the things that we've been through. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
All right. The power tool for tonight is believing in you after a failure. Believing in you, believing in yourself is the most important thing you can do to move past failures. We all want to have them. You could say I failed at every one of my dreams. If you look at the definition of failure as a lack of success, you could even say that I'm failing at my current dreams, depending on how you look at it. Many of us fear failure as it defines us, or sometimes we even think it's a permanent state of being because we failed in that. obviously that we are failure, but I disagree. But I would define failure as accepting an unexpected outcome without further action. Just sometimes things just happen. You're going to fail many times in life. You're just going to fail. There's some times you're just not going to make it. There's some things that you're going to try to build, but life is full of failures. Current research suggests that we can approach failure into different mindsets, especially a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And so we are believing in ourselves. So a fixed mindset holds the belief that we all possess skills and talents that no longer that do not matter how much effort we put in and we apply. We can't change that potential. Possession of fixed mindset means any struggle or failure is attributed to one growth. And so that's a fixed mindset. But a growth mindset says this, holds the belief that we all have unbound potential for growth and evolution. We do. It makes the simple fact of trying to move things forward. Failure is simply a pit stop when you refuel your journey. Sometimes you just got to go fill your car up. You can only drive so far without getting gas. And what it does, it refills your journey and redirect your approach. The way you interpret failure depends on whether or not you keep showing up and doing the work, or whether you shut down and give up. So there are times in life that we either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. I decided to have a growth mindset because it means that even though that didn't work, that does not mean that I have to stop. But when you have a fixed mindset, what you're saying is, well, this is the way it's always going to be. I'm just going to throw in the towel and I'm not going to do anything. So you have to believe in yourself, believe in you after failure. Listen, there things will happen and we are quick to say, you know what, that's it. That's it. I'm not going to go any further. But there was something I recently found about failure when I was doing my research. And it says this failure is a myth. Now, this is what it says. There's no such thing. What we call failure is really just a missed mark. You just missed the mark. It's unrealized goal or incomplete vision. It's an unrealized goal or incomplete vision. Not the reason why we should start believing ourselves. However, being human, we judge ourselves and we slap a label on ourselves and we tell ourselves who we are. And we forget to look and see who God said we are. But we've already told ourselves that we are failure, that we'll never make it, that there's nothing will ever become of us. I'm just like my daddy said I was. That person said I was, told us to give up our dreams. So here we are, not believing in ourselves because of a failure. We want to compare ourselves and know that where we rank. We want to compare ourselves to somebody else and determine based on what we see them do, we'll make a decision who we are. Well, sometimes we do this to validate already poor self-image or try to motivate ourselves to change and do better. So which one are you going to do? Are you going to change and do better? Or are you going to look at your life and base it on what somebody else do? And we've already decided in our mind who we were based on what we saw somebody else do. So now here we are, a failure in our head. Opportunity lie within our face when we bump up against the things we call failure. It's actually our cue to dig deeper than we thought we could go. So when you feel like you're a failure, every now and then you have to bump up against the thing that we call failure. And we say, okay, no, that did not work. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out how to go a little deeper. I'm going to figure out how to, maybe I didn't do that right. But what we do, we're already telling ourselves that we're nothing and nobody will never amount to anything. This is why it's so important that you have someone in your life who will motivate you, because there will be those who say, oh, child, girl, you need to give that up. You'll never amount to anything. So I make sure I surround myself with the people who will motivate me, not agree with everything that I've done, because every now and then you need to be put in check. You got to have a person in your life to check you, because, we'll begin to really begin to believe what we say about ourselves. Your worthiness is enhanced through both your success and your failure. So listen, we don't think we're worthy because we failed. No. What failure does is prepare you for the next thing. First things first. There's an important distinction to be made when it comes to believing in yourself. You are not what you produce. There are sometimes you produce good stuff, and there are sometimes you produce some things that may not line up. So you are not who, if you fail, you are not who you produce. No, no. What God is doing in your life is causing you to get to another place. And what He's call us to do. And what failure does, it teaches lessons. Because if you're doing a certain thing and it don't work, you've already learned something. So whatever don't work, you'll do better the next time. So there's a lesson to be learned. To believe in yourself more during times of failure, so you don't miss out on the gift failure offers. Let me say that again. Believe in yourself during times of failure, so you don't miss out on the gift failure offers. The best thing you can do during this time of failure is to turn within yourself, to face yourself, to face your beautiful self, to face yourself that maybe didn't succeed, to face that person that maybe you missed the mark, and realize that you are not a failure because you failed. Yeah, you're not a failure because you failed. There's a gift in failing, because now I realize it gives me a different perspective of who I am. I can always pat myself on the back when I'm doing greatness. I'm doing great things. My organization is running good. My business is going good. I'm making money. But the minute we fail, all of a sudden we start thinking of ourselves as failures. We forget all the great things we've done. We forget how God healed us. We forget how He done our wonderful thing. But I failed. No, baby, you're not. You're not a failure. I'm letting you know. Believe, but you believe in yourself in a failure, which does not mean you are a failure. So in your failure, you will have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. So again, fixed mindset saying that I'm telling myself I'll never amount to anything because I failed. Growth mindset says I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to build from this. I'm going to believe from this. I'm going to recover from this. So don't allow yourself to wallow, for days and days. Yeah, Anita was talking about she have a 2-day turnaround and dealing with trauma, dealing with heartache, or dealing with disappointment. Why? Because what happens is you will get to a place that because your mind do funny things. The mind is a complex thing. What happens with the mind keep playing over and over all the failures that you have. You are accomplished. You've done great things. You've moved mountains, and now you got this little hill. And now you're getting crazy, and the mind tell you, girl, you failed. Your mind. So I ask God to cover my mind. So when I do fail at something, that I'm not a failure, but fail at something, what I realize that I'm learning a lesson. There's a lesson to life. Every day I say, God, teach me a lesson. If somebody cut me off when I'm driving, God, teach me a lesson that I don't say the things that I used to say. Listen. Because there's a growth in that. There's a growth. Romans 12:3 says this: for by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. So listen, you're going to have failures, but you're going to have situations, but you are not a failure. Believe it in you after a failure, not believe it in you after a failure. It's going to happen, but just trust and know that regardless of what it looks like, God has already decided and already planned who we are. But we get we just wallow in it. And I'm telling y'all, because I'm a wallower. I used to be. At least a little thing, I was like, oh Lord, oh God, I'm not going to be. No, but see, I had to learn that my failure did not make me a failure. So whatever you're going through, just know there's a lesson to be learned. You'll be surprised at the stuff I've learned due to my failure. I'm making crafts, and I started off, some of that stuff didn't look too good. And I failed at it. But what happened? I got better and better. I could have threw it all in the trash and say that's it. So I just want to leave this tonight for those who are dealing with looking at yourself as a failure because that thing didn't work. That marriage didn't work. That job didn't work. So many things didn't work. But let me tell you something. You keep living and breathing. You're going to look back and you'll say, God, I thank you that I didn't get in that relationship because he's a fool. God, I thank you that I didn't get that job because it wasn't worth it. So just know that failure is God setting you up for a blessing. And that is the power tool for tonight.
Woo-hoo! my God, today. You know, I love the fact that when we talk about failure and that it's an event, it's not final. Failure is not final.
No, it's not.
It's just a moment in time. And, you know, sometimes we do wallow, and I had to learn to get myself up. That's why I started doing like David. I'm like, I'll give you 2 or 3 days. And, I'll be pitiful. I get my little pitiful moments. I get my pitiful tears out. Sit in the corner, blow bubbles, as Annette says, or sit in the corner looking for my third thumb, as I like to say, or turning that, and then we get to that point where we start doing like the lady in Fatal Attraction, and we start turning that light switch on and off. Turning that light switch on and off. But that's the real stuff right there. We're like sitting there like, light switch on and off. But that's what failure will take you. You know, it'll take you down there.
Oh God!
Sorry for yourself. You're getting your pity. Sit on your pity pot. But somebody said something. They said memory is something else. We must invite the imagination to partner with our memory to move forward. And the thing is, and the Holy Ghost will bring so much back to your remembrance when you start. When you actually think about how we look at failure like, oh my God, nothing ever happens to me. Oh, are we talking about the same God? What about the God that healed you? What about the God that when you had $20 in your bank account and you looked the next day you had $2,000 and you don't know where it came from? Let me tell you, I've had some things like that happen to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, look at you. And I know I ain't have enough money to pay them bills. But when I got down to it, everything got paid and I had leftovers. And I was like, thank you, God, because only He did it. And even when I messed up, had my little failure moment, but I get right back up. So thank you for that power tool, Annette. It was great. All right, good people. That's the second phase of our conversation. Y'all know where we're about to go. We're about to go to them topics, though. So don't go anywhere. We're going to pause for our commercial break for about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And we'll be right back after this, where we can y'all saw that thumbnail. Y'all saw that thumbnail. Y'all know what we're doing tonight. We'll be right back after our commercial break, y'all.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with the Andersons. Each and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on multiple platforms. For more information and other services, visit AnnetteLAnderson.com. Your faithful co-hosts, Annette and Anita, along with the best mods this side of heaven, are live on Clubhouse in the Movers and Shakers house with Operation Manifestation every Friday night at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss this fiery conversation. If you don't have your copy yet, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Another milestone reached. Get your copy of The Wow Effect by Anita Faye Wilson, available on all platforms, or you can visit AnitaFayeWilson.com. And you can always catch us live on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. for Can We Talk? Join us with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Get yours today. They're $15 and that includes shipping. Sow good seed into good soil. You can sow a seed into Movement Worldwide via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, Zelle at info@movementworldwide.org, or by becoming a patron. You can visit our website at movementworldwide.org, click the red button, go to patreon.com, and set up your account today. And remember to follow us on all platforms. Like, subscribe, click that notification button, and don't forget to share. It's that time. Tea Time Topics.
It's time for Tea Time Topics. Tea Time Topics. Say, boy, Tea Time Topics. Go, Nick. Come on. Ooh, ooh.
Okay, there we go.
Dance on.
I had to practice.
Get the dance on. Ooh, ooh. I see you, girl. And then you had a little crooked there for a second. You had to kind of figure out which way to go.
Hey, get it right, girl.
Yes, it's time for our tea time topics. Y'all know we like to go from the news, the good, bad, and the ugly. We keep it light, but we keep it real. And so we're gonna dig in. Y'all saw that thumbnail. Everybody. This has been the talk of the week, y'all. Whew. Listen, if you ain't talking about nothing else, this was talked about. On January 3rd, the internet was stopped in its tracks by precisely this as Cat Williams sat down for a nearly 3-hour tour de force interview with Shannon Sharpe on his podcast, Club Shay Shay. The reason I had to come is because you made it a safe place for the truth to be told, Williams said at the top of the interview. And I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up, he said, straight up lies. Was he here to set the record straight? Sharpe asked in reply, apparently so. Over the course of the interview, Williams makes outrageous claims. He said Harvey Weinstein offered to, in front of all Black people at my agency, airs personal grievances with a half dozen or so comedians. Lord, I'm going to tell you, he put it out there. Half dozen or so comedians such as Cedric the Entertainer, who allegedly stole one of his jokes, and Michael Blackson, a comedian who doesn't get booed enough. He goes deep on the production of Friday After Next and discuss rumors about his personal life. He may not always be the most reliable narrator, and there are moments like when he refers to Kim Kardashian as a woman, he called her a hoe, or fixates too much on which male comedians have worn dresses in movies that will raise eyebrows. But this is very much a strap in and enjoy the ride situation. Before the interview even finished premiering on YouTube, it began going viral on Twitter, inspiring memes, jokes, fact-checking, provoking responses from some of Williams' targets, sparking discourse about how young Black comedians rarely get the exposure these older Black comedians continue to get, and much more. Williams called out Cedric the Entertainer, Stevie Harvey, Weinstein, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Tyler Perry, Wanda Sykes. He went in. He went in. So if you didn't hear about this, then you must be under a rock somewhere. Because homeboy did. Let me see. I was looking at these comments. Yes. So look. I watched the interview, and I can say all I can say is, Cat was telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Listen, I have my opinions on it, and I'll keep them out. I ain't gonna keep them to myself. I don't have to. This is our show. I have to keep my opinions to myself because I do believe him. I believe exactly what he said, because when I look at especially when I look at the joke that Cedric the Entertainer did, it is almost verbatim. It is literally, I watched them side by side and I was like, oh my God. And, and I laughed so hard when Cedric told that joke, but it just goes to show you. And I know this business. I know the business and I know how it happens all the time. So Annette, your thoughts on that?
Okay. I don't agree with everybody else. Okay. Mm-hmm. In this respect, I believe he told the truth. That part. Yeah. But everybody has their own walk, and the average person would have had a lot of people wouldn't have had the integrity that he had. Mm-hmm. And so if those people wore dresses and that was how they fed their family and that's how they moved, probably wasn't right, but people do it all the time. So Cat walk wasn't the rest of them walk. You don't find people like him every day with integrity. You really don't. I don't care whether it's in church. So he told the truth, but I guess I looked at that was the choice that all the people he called, whether we agree with it or don't agree, that was their choice to live their life how they chose, and it wasn't right. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't right. But he talked about stuff. Some of that stuff happened 25 years or more, and that's not the first person to steal a joke. I guarantee that. I've been on like, wait a minute, did somebody just tell that joke? Even though he was right, but that was his life, how he chose, and they chose their life. And I always look at life like this: just because you eat, I'm not going to go to the bathroom off of what you swallow. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought, I mean, it probably needed to be said because this is a year of exposure. They ain't the only thing will be exposed, but that was their life they chose, and maybe some of them probably wouldn't have never made it if it had, if they followed the way Kat did things. They just, because they wasn't, a lot of them were naturally funny. You know what I'm saying? Kat, he's just naturally funny.
Yeah, he was funny in the interview.
Yeah, he just naturally funny, and that was just my only take on it. But I told somebody, I said, well, I'm sure all that happened. I said, but it's above my pay grade because it's just a bunch of wealthy people attacking in my head. So I mean, people ain't gonna agree with me, but I'm okay. I've been very comfortable who I am. I didn't say he was wrong. I just said those people chose their life, just like I choose mine. And along the way, I've chose some stuff I had to repent for. So that's how I take it. Anyway, all right.
The thing is, I mean, yes, as it pertains to some of the stuff that he said about, why they went the routes they did and what they did, that's not the stuff that really like came out to me. What came out to me were like the true statements that he made and the fact that a lot of them lie about it. Grace said, but it was the way Cedric went about it, acknowledge your source and not say you were the originator. And he wasn't the originator. And then even after the fact, he kept saying, oh, it was over 30 years ago and I don't even know. Because it was very obvious. He sat on the stool. He did the whole body movement, the whole thing. It's like, wow, he really did take it. And, now the thing about with Ricky Smiley, I mean, I've heard him make some comments about it that were totally different from the comments he made after he made his response. And then I've also, I've seen Steve, who spoke before the interview, and some of the stuff he said didn't line up. And it's like, okay, so I think that what has happened is Kat has gotten such a bad rap. And he, people claimed he was on drugs, claimed he was broke, claimed, all kinds of stuff. And he's far from any of that they said. And he's brilliant. The man is smart. He started reading at 3. And who leaves home at 13 and come to Miami on a bus with a dog? And just and then rise from that to the top. And that was just, I admire a lot. I learned a lot about him in the interview. And I admire that about him because I've always known from other sources and situations and people that know him. I don't know him personally, but I've learned from people who know him personally. And they were like, he's brilliant. He's one of the smartest people. It's like, he's just short and funny. And that's why he, with him coming into comedy, that's why he became so successful with that, because he is just naturally funny. You're just going to laugh when you walk in the room because
Anita, that's true. But in life, it can always be people who take a shortcut.
Yeah, but and I know how sensitive it is with your creative property. When it's your intellectual property, when you create something, when you write a song or when you write a poem, like Annette, somebody take your poem.
We talked about that last week about somebody taking the woman's song. So
let somebody take one of your Annettism and put their name, scribble their name all across the bottom. Did I write that? It happens all the time, yes, but it doesn't make it right.
No, it's not right. I mean, it's just like we made him the savior, but he had his life. I say it's right. I agree with it. But I said, okay, I said now what? But now what? It's out there. Now what's going to change? You can't change 25, 30 years ago.
No, you can't change it, but you can stop it from happening again.
Maybe. It's going to be still somebody going to do
somebody else going to steal, but I bet you they won't. Ice Cube made a statement regarding both gentlemen's auditions. He was polite, but they auditioned. Ricky Smiley immediately stated that he was meant to be Santa. He couldn't play the pimp. And that was the point that Kat was making. He was like, he was never going to play it because when he auditioned for it, it didn't work. and they made him Santa, and he was mad about it. He clearly said Cat was Money Mike, and he was. They knew when he came on, it was like, that's it. And they just kind of let him run with it. And Ricky had to have a thing over his face, saying, ain't nobody gonna even know who I am. I mean, those things really happen. And sometimes people forget what they said like years ago. You'll say something like, the movie was like 25 years ago, right? So you'll forget 25 years ago that you said something, but somebody out there got it on video, and that's the problem, because that's what's happening. The truth, he spoke the truth, even though they were out there lying, and then they're still trying to cover or whatever. I mean, just own it, especially Cedric now. Cedric needs to just own the fact that he stole it.
Everything they did was based on a lie. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if your foundation is a lie, you're going to keep lying. No, I'm just saying that was my point. That's my point. It's not going to change because that's what it was based on. And these men, maybe it wasn't right, but they did what they did to get ahead. And I'm just saying, I ain't saying it was wrong. God, no. But everything, if it was based on a lie, why you think now you're going to get some truth? Mm-hmm. Because you lie long enough, you'll believe it. I believe.
At the end of the day, I think what it will do though is it will stop them from lying. It will stop them from lying. Maybe not stop them from lying completely, but it might not lie so much. It'll make you think before you start putting your mouth out there.
Personally, I don't think it's going to change so much. The ones that's like them ones been 25 years ago, but I think the ones coming in now, these comedians now, I think it would help to probably make them. But what you gonna do to somebody like 25 years ago? What you think you're gonna do to me? What I said 25 years ago, but not
trust me, it makes them think. Because Ricky came back all sweet and caramelly, because that's not how he was years ago. You know, before Cat was like, because Cat was holding it. He'd been holding it all this time, and so but he came back. I remember Ricky Smiley back in the 90s. He was something. He changed, thank God. Yes, we remember. We do remember. So yeah, so hats off. I actually enjoyed the interview. I think that, you know, I'm applauding Cat for speaking his truth, because it happened. And, you know, there are times like, that's why we write books. You know, things have happened to me and I told the truth. You tell the truth of the things that hurt you, people who hurt you, people who treated you horribly, people who put their blinders on and act like you didn't exist. We talk about it on here, and I'm telling my truth. Now, does it change that person? No, but it liberates me. That person might not change. And that person ain't changed a bit. However, I can guarantee you it affects them, that it's known what they did.
And like I say, 25, I can't, well, my memory ain't that good. But it just, but I think in me, I just think for me, it was almost like, I don't know. I'll leave it alone. I listened to it, and that was his truth. And 9 times out of 10, the man didn't tell no lie. But, you know, I know everybody applauded him. I didn't. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give the applause for me.
Yeah. And we give him one. Well, he don't deserve it. Yeah, that's it. Because he don't deserve a one. I just didn't.
I just give him the crickets. That's
okay. That's good. Thank you.
That'll work for that.
Yeah.
I did too, and I believe what he said about 2024. Yes. Absolutely. It's some stuff. It's some heads about to roll. It's a trickle down. And I know this industry, and it's really going to trickle down. It's not going to be too wonderful for those guys. Loved it personally. That's why you don't play with people. Amen, Yolanda. Amen. That's why you don't mess with people. You don't play with people. And you don't step on people's toes. You don't steal people's stuff. You don't steal people's property. Do your own stuff. Because what's done in the dark will come to light. And it did. That's Bible. That's Bible right there.
It came to light for sure.
It came to a whole lot of light. Like all right, fellas.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Matt?
No, I don't disagree with him. I just think it just we making him like he the savior, and to me it wasn't. But anyway, I already got my crickets. Move on.
Every single time Yolanda said, that's it, baby. That's it. Come on, fellas. Come on, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
All right. Hey. I know my comment wasn't going to be popular, but you know how I am. Brianna O'Connor, a talented and dedicated Black basketball coach. You know, I be tearing that up, Londa, right? Brianna O'Connor, born in April the 3rd, 1995, in Louisiana, is the daughter of Michael Williams. She graduated, who cares? She received numerous accolades during recognition of this I want to get to the good part. I don't know why I put all that. Okay, she was at this school, y'all. Let me just break it down to in my. What you say, Lana? Shut your face. I already said that. Did I already tell you I don't remember stuff? I probably done cut somebody out. Somebody probably mad at me right now. I don't remember. Okay, during her tenure at Opalossi, I guess that's how you pronounce it, high school girls basketball team, she went on to achieve an impressive 18-4 record. Showcase cast. I'm tearing up these words. Anyway, let me just put it like this. This is a young lady that I know y'all all seen. She was a awesome a coach, and they had a problem with the way she dressed. Now I saw her girlfriend was like always on point. The problem wasn't so much her dressing was because she's shapely. This is to tell the truth. And so they end up firing her. They terminated her because they were saying it was not a fashion show. It was I'm gonna whoop her tail. Anyway, it wasn't a fashion show. And so they fired her. And if y'all ever seen her, she's very pretty. And this is a picture of her, but there's a better picture of her. I mean, she never stepped out unless she was in heels. And they fired her based on, not because of her record, because her record spoke for itself, but they fired her because of how she dressed. And she ended up getting another job soon after she was fired. But it was amazing to me that she was able to get the job done, Anita, but they fired her based on how she looked. And I was saying if she would have been like, a heavier set woman, and they would have had a problem with it. I don't know. I didn't see nothing was wrong with it. But this is what my opinion was. I said whoever was the people that whatever board hired her, probably some of their wives or other people just started complaining about her attire. But they fired the chick. So, yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing. She was already dressed up. To me, I just thought she was beautiful. I didn't see nothing wrong with her attire, but obviously,
I agree, Grace. It's jealousy.
Yeah.
Just because you want to look like a front pump, don't mean it's that this girl has to too.
Yeah.
She's pretty. She has a nice body. She can dress nice. It's not a fashion show. Well, then why don't you go and put on some makeup and do something about your little raggedy hair and get in the gym and get you some, nice clothes that accentuate your body so you won't feel intimidated, because obviously that's what it is. It's obvious to me. That's exactly what it is. I think it's terrible. And Jesse, I hope she sues them blind. Who said it? It was Jesse or Grace. One of them said it. Oh, it was Jesse.
Jesse.
She sues them blind. And I hope so too. I hope she sued the mess out of them, because that is ridiculous. So for her, beautiful young lady doing her job, doing what she's supposed to do, we give her a thumbs up and an applause. We put her shoes on her second. All the front pumps in the corner. This is what we got for y'all. Don't be mad, because listen, don't be hating. Like look at this. I'm like, maybe I need to.
So you find somebody who got the job done because you didn't like they were shapely and
ridiculous. Ridiculous. It makes no sense.
She got a job within 2 months, child. She got a job.
Exactly. Foolishness. And now y'all look stupid because y'all been jealous. You little front pumps. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
All right then. We came off of the front pumps. And we're going. Wait a minute. I just saw a comment pop up. I got to see this comment real quick before I read this one. They wanted her to wear a potato sack. Yes, they wanted her to wear a potato sack. I agree. No one wants you to reassemble an ironing board. You know what, Jesse? I know. I always know when you in the house and you ain't been
here. Welcome back. Okay.
Applause for that comment right there. Woo! If you're an ironing board, that's some funny job. All right, so now let's go to the next. Sorry, y'all.
That was a good one, though.
Listen, I love our movers, and listen, you don't want to rub them wrong. You don't want to rub them wrong because they'll get you. That's a funny job right there. All right, so now for the next one. R&B singer Kelly Price shocked her social media followers during the first week of 2024 by sharing a startling revelation. The former Def Jam vocalist disclosed that she has been approached multiple times by several well-known preachers with indecent proposals. Although she asserted that she declined their advances, Price, who started singing as a child in the church, did not say who and did not say what, when, or where they said it. While hesitant to publicly expose said individual, she gave the reason why. The quote-unquote secret love artist said, will only give names for a fee, saying she is standing on a foundation of holiness that will allow her to see God. I'm one of the very few artists who have been able to record and tour with both gospel and R&B artists, and that lives lives that are lived by people that you worship and are despicable and disgusting, Price said in an Instagram live video. She says she's never proclaimed to be a gospel artist, declaring, I'm an R&B artist who did a gospel album. This is who I am. But her heart was broken after seeing how these artists conducted themselves while touring. I saw the things that happened on the road with a lot of these artists, she said, adding, doing shows with these artists, all kinds of stuff. The As We Lay singer said that she had a fly on the wall view of the antics of these gospel artists and even some of the preachers by going on tours and doing shows. While being up close and personal, she explained that she was able to see their behavior up close and personal, punctuating her remarks with the comment about all of the preachers who tried to get her in bed. She said, that's another story. You won't get it for free. Refuse to give it that for free. Some of your favorite preachers all over your timeline and in your YouTube right now, that if they could have gotten me in my bed or in their bed, they would have. But I don't play those games, the chart topper said. F a man, I fear God. One ex-user screenshot an explosive exchange on social media where the singer went into depth about her church background as a preacher kid and her desire to distance herself from the gospel community. All righty. Well, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, she went in on somebody. She cursed them out. But she said about what is that that show she was on judging, Sunday Best. She said she was the only one. Now she said she was the only one on Sunday Best that wasn't cheating or messing with boys and little boys and men. I had to grab my imaginary pearls.
Your imaginary pearls.
And I said to myself, oh man, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, and here's the thing though, Annette. I mean, okay, so I'm an artist who a person who's worked in the industry, all my life, basically. And I've seen it on both sides. Of course, we all have. And we know what goes on.
Well, yeah.
We ain't stupid. And they're people and they make mistakes and they're gonna do that. They don't do their thing. And it's like, you out there and you're seeing it. And it's just like this. And I tell people all the time, that's why, we have to learn to deal with our own soul. Because you're responsible for you. And if an environment is not edifying for you, and if it's not helpful to you, if it's not going to bless you, then that's not somewhere you need to be. And you have, the door swings. You can leave or you can stay and grin and bear it and sweep it on the right, act like it's not happening. But that doesn't have any bearing. I mean, that's not Christ. That's not the body of Christ. That's just people who have a talent and they're traveling and sometimes they get caught up and, the exposure happens and, it's a lot of things that happen out there, whether you're in the church or not. It's on both sides. But I guess people always expect people because they sing gospel to be, on a pedestal completely holy, and they're not. They're still people.
Oh, yeah. And we witnessed that when I was with True Spirit. This guy came and one of the guys in this group wanted to beat him up by his wife, trying to hit on, that kind of. Yes, I know it happens. It was just a year of that's the reason why we even looking at it. It's a year of exposure so far. Just this year, this few days in January, like, oh boy,
it's January 10th and it's going on up in here. Let me tell you. Cat done open. He done opened the can of words. Now everybody talking.
And then of course Jake and what's his name? Manasseh. You know. So I know I ain't gonna say I had my opinion on Manasseh. I decided not to even talk about it.
Yeah, we talked about we covered it for the last couple of weeks, but yeah, that's some foolishness. So, but anyway, all right. So that's it. That one. Let me tell you, it's a rough one. I don't really have nothing for Kelly. I don't really have a sound for. I mean, it happens.
It happens. I seen it at one of the places I used to worship at.
We should never put people on a pedestal. I know you can, Karen, because
I know it's some stuff.
Karen was in a group called the Newborn Gospel Singers when I was a little girl, and they used to travel all over the place and sang. So she has seen it.
Yeah, Anita, you know we saw it at our former church.
Oh yeah, we saw it in former church, current church, future church. Listen. Remember, King David had an issue and his son Solomon had an addiction. Come on, preacher Jackson Karen, you better say something up in here. All right, fellas, come on. Keep us moving.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. A league of our own, ALOOO, a self-funded baseball league that is the only African-American owned independent baseball league in the United States. Is honoring the legacy, history, and accomplishment of 4 very distinguished African-American baseball players. Well, first of all, Anita, I didn't even know that we had a league in this country. Rube Foster, the father of Negro League baseball, Stacey Page, and one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Sam Allen, a Negro League great, and Dick Allen, one of Chicago White Sox most fierce hitters in the day. ALOOO will honor these distinguished baseball icons by naming teams in their league after them in an effort to forever invoke their memories in the hearts and mind of past, present, and future baseball generations. You don't hear about these men. The teams will bear the name Reuben Foster Chicago Giants. I said their names already. And the league will host an official dedication prior to the start of the 2024 season. A few years ago, a Little League baseball team from South Side of Chicago by the name, a Little League baseball team from the South Side of Chicago by the name of Jackie Robinson West captured the heart and soul of the nation. Most importantly, they captured the heart and soul of the African-American community around the world. Baseball in inner cities is dying, and we have an avenue to give baseball players something to look forward to. This league would afford baseball players the opportunity to play baseball to further advance and develop their baseball skills. We want this league to capture the heart and soul of the nation as we serve as a lifeline to pump life back into the game by providing an outlet for baseball players to continue playing past the high school and college levels. And yeah, that was a very interesting story because when you look at baseball now, there's not a lot of black players, and a lot of players are from different countries. I noticed that my grandson had just sang here in Daytona. I was like, wow, it was a lot of baseball players that was from different countries, and I didn't see any blacks on that particular team. So yeah,
you know what, my dad loved baseball. Lord Jesus, my dad loved baseball so much, and he used to watch it on TV, and it used to run me hot. I used to hate when I would see baseball popping up on the television because I knew he was going to be watching it, and then he'll sit there and he'd be tapping his feet and going, You know, like the parents do when their kids are doing gymnastics. And he loved it so much that our family took a family vacation to Atlanta for him to go to a Major League Baseball game. We went to Six Flags over Georgia. Of course, I don't remember the trip because I was only 3. I've just seen all the pictures, but yeah, so it's you know, it's an honor to see that, you know, some black men are being honored now. And I'm sure that some of these players my daddy do because he really loved baseball. He was a fan. So if he was alive today, he would be probably like, he'll be all up in it because that was his game. To me, watching baseball was like watching golf. I just can't do it. And when I see it on, I'm like, ooh, I go every which way except towards the baseball. So we do applaud the fact that they are. That's awesome. Awesome sauce. All right, fellas, come on and take us on.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Here's a great story. Look at those beautiful. And I see That to me is the most
Oh
beautiful.
my gosh.
I love it. The Stevenson triplets, Jean, Jeanette, and Janice, have made history after recently graduating together with nursing degrees from South University in Montgomery, Alabama. The sisters, who are now 23 years old, say they were inspired by their mom, who is also a nurse, to carry on the family tradition. Growing up, the three siblings formed a close bond that extended into their academic pursuits. They said being triplets has its perks, especially when it comes to studying. I bet. If one person doesn't know something, you can go to the other and maybe they'll explain it a little better, Janice told WSFA. We motivate each other, help each other, make sure everyone is passing and learning at the same pace, said Jean. The triplets cherish the unique connection they share, tracing back to the day they were born. We've always shared everything: cars, clothes, rooms, bathrooms, Jean added. We were always very close because we shared everything. The trio also have fun with their identical looks, which sometimes lead to amusing mix-ups. Teachers and students alike find it challenging to tell them apart. Sometimes we do play tricks on people, said Jeanette. We do get confused a lot. Moreover, after earning their nursing degree, the three sisters wanted to pursue different paths within nursing. Jean aims for the ICU. Jeanette aims for the ICU. Jean is interested in pediatrics or NICU, and Janice wants to do the ER. Despite that, they dream of working in the same hospital one day. That is a beautiful story.
I know it.
Beautiful girls. That's something. When I saw this article, I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Black girls do rock. That is amazing. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just find these girls to be amazing, beautiful, and I know their mom is like above proud that all three of them chose to follow in her footsteps. So yeah, good story, man.
I mean, it's amazing. And when, and I'm sure that the mom, the parents, are extremely overjoyed to see their three bundles of joy that came into the world together, doing this together, and that, all three of them are successful like that. So that's awesome. It's a blessing, and I love it. We love stories like this. So we do 100% give them the movement worldwide applause. Keep going, girls, and wouldn't it be awesome if they were able to work in the same hospital?
Oh my goodness,
that would be simply amazing if that could happen for these girls. That's amazing. So we love that story. All right, fellas, come on, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Oh, that's the one about. Is it the one with the guy from the Capitol?
Yes.
This is the man that's in the hospital, was in the hospital. So this one. I'll go ahead and read it. Defense Secretary Lloyd. Okay, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was diagnosed with prostate cancer in December and developed complications with a very invasive procedure he underwent to treat and cure it. Officials from Walter Reed National Military Center officials said the complications are what led to him being admitted to Walter Reed on January 1st and eventually the intensive care unit. Also remained in the hospital as of Tuesday. The Pentagon took 3 days to inform the White House and key defense officials about Austin's hospitalization, prompting criticism. Here we go, and triggering a review procedure about how the head of a military could be away from his duties for so long without senior members of the administration knowing. President Joe Biden and other top White House officials learned about his hospitalization on Thursday. But National Security Council spokesman said John Kirby told reporters Tuesday that neither Biden nor anyone at the White House knew about Austin's cancer diagnosis until Tuesday morning, hours before Walter Reed officials made it information public. Oh man, the cancer was discovered in early December in a routine lab test for prostate screening. This is why it's important to get this screening, y'all. Walter Reed officials said The surgical procedure Austin underwent on December 22nd was by prostate, and Austin was under anesthesia doing it. Okay. And so his cancer was detected early, and the prognosis is excellent. Ryder told reporters that he was informed about Austin's hospitalization on January 2nd, a day after he was admitted and 2 days before Biden, the national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, was told. Ryder briefed reporters on camera on Thursday and did not disclose the secretary continued hospitalization. He did not provide further details, including whether he was directed not to tell anyone. Ryder also said Monday that the Pentagon lawyers were reviewing whether any laws were broken during this failure to notify U.S. leaders in Congress. So here this man, we hope a speedy recovery, but we got to investigate to see if any laws were broken. And I was thinking like, wow, really? Maybe they didn't feel like nobody, because it was, maybe they didn't feel like the world needed to know right away.
Well,
but I do know you're supposed to tell. Don't get me wrong. I understand that.
I think the main thing is that it should have been the administration should have known, because he holds a very strategic and powerful position politically. And if something's happening or something jumps off and he's not in place and he doesn't have anything in place and nobody knows, then it can be a problem. And that's, I think that's the main issue with that.
But my question is, who would be the one to tell that? Because if he in there, and in the hospital in intensive care, then maybe whoever who works with him dropped the ball. I'm assuming.
He could have said, he could have made a phone call,
but he ended up in intensive care though.
Yeah. Okay. So you're getting Annette. On my way to the hospital feeling horrible. Can't hardly stand up. What did I do? I text people. And I let them know that I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. And somebody has to pick up the ball. The administration should have been notified immediately.
I agree with the president for sure. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is
true. All right, Sharon. Pentagon could have called. All right, Prophet.
Yeah, because I'm saying he has to have someone that works on his team. That's what I'm saying. And
I agree with that too, Grace. He should have told them prior to the procedure, because they didn't know, period. And that's the thing. The point is they didn't know, and they should have been notified, because you can't fulfill your duties. And if you can't fulfill your duties and something happened and they're looking around like, well, where he at? Where he at? Oh, he in the hospital? And he didn't tell anybody? And that's the thing. Because anything could have happened to him in intensive care, but he didn't report it.
I guess in my head, I know that those people have teams and have, whether you're the House Speaker, somebody work with them. Even when the man froze, he had somebody that worked with him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. But even though he had somebody work with him and immediately said, "Oh, are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering that maybe his team dropped the ball, but somebody did drop the ball.
He dropped the ball.
Yeah.
It was his responsibility. His second in command didn't know. And that's the truth. The second in command didn't know. He didn't tell him. And that's the point that they're making. It's not that his team should have been, they with him 24 hours a day and know everything. They don't. You have to tell people. And I'm sure he wasn't completely incompetent on his way to the hospital, but they didn't even know he had been in. And he had to go back. And that was the point. It's like, wait, and then he thought he could just like slide it under, but he should have told them way back. And that way people would be alerted. But then, still stuck on the frozen, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess in my mind, I always thought those people in the positions like that, like even the vice president, she has a team and but I guess you're right. At the end of the day, the responsibility do end up laying at his front door. I guess so.
Right, it lays at your front door. Yeah. Unless you collapse or something, they have to rush you. Then everybody knows. But you went secretly, and then you went back and had to go in intensive care. That means you had a problem. So you should have said something. He messed up. That's right. He messed up. It's his responsibility. Tell your aide to notify. Period. That's all he had to do. But he didn't. And that's why it's a big stink about it. So I'm still stuck on
Well, I'm sorry, but I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, that's
That's why I
okay.
say he froze.
The man who top lip don't move when he talk, McConnell.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
I talking about with a frozen person. But-
I did not mean it, boy. I just need to just not talk no more tonight.
I can't help it because you were funny with that. But you know what? And I apologize to you, Annette, because I didn't realize the slides were out of order. So
Oh, well, that was all right.
Couple fellas take us to the new one so we won't freeze.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Oh my God, girl, you are a trip. I laughed so hard. That really got me. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize for my ponytail being all on the screen. All right, so now.
Okay, so I go back and read his little tale here. Okay.
Capitol officer, there you go.
Okay, one of the U.S. Capitol police officers who defended the federal building and Congress members inside it on January 6th insurrection is running for office. Harry Dunn announced his candidacy nearly 3 years to the day when he had to face violent rioters, and that's who they were, who stormed the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. in a deadly attack, y'all, to stop Congress members from certifying then President-elect Joe Biden electoral victory. Dunn is running for to represent Maryland's 3rd district, which stretches between Baltimore and D.C., and replace Democrat John Sabans, who isn't seeking re-election. Oh, he's not running. Okay. Dunn doesn't currently live in the district, but said he would relocate there if he won. If he won, y'all, if he win, he gonna move, y'all. On January 6th, I defended our democracy when insurrectionists as a Capitol police officer after President Biden honored me with the Presidential Citizen Medal. Dunn wrote in a statement announcing his bid for office. Today, I am running for Congress to stop Trump's MAGA. He gonna stop Trump, MAGA extremists, and ensure it never, ever happens again. Okay, I'm embellishing. I'm just gonna read. Let me stop. Dunn started making a name for himself after he passionately testified before a House Select Committee investigating insurrection about what he experienced firsthand that day. He told lawmakers he was berated and assaulted by rioters and called racial slurs. He left the police force last year after 15 years on the job. He went on to publish a memoir in October calling for accountability and highlighting the trauma he underwent as a result of the riot. Dunn is running as a Democrat for the congressional election and is up against 5 other Democrats currently serving in Maryland General Assembly. He told Politico that he wasn't intimidated by the crowded field, He told them that he was not intimidated by the crowded field, calling opponents career politicians, while saying he's a career public servant. I truly believe that this is one of the reasons why, because I'm a stranger. I'm no stranger. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me go back. I truly believe that this is one of the reasons why, because I'm no stranger to public service. I spent the last 15 plus years of my life dedicated not only to public service, but to defending democracy. He'll reportedly be focusing on democracy protection, gun reform, mental health, infrastructure, and transit and public safety as part of his platform. Mm-hmm. And this is the young man that we saw a lot of during that time of the insurrection. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the attack that the Republicans swear didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, I say run, baby, run. Do your thing. And somebody say he get my vote. He sure have my vote. I can tell you now, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever witnessed in the history of America. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's we can go all day on them fools, but yeah, hats off to him, and we do wish him well in his campaign. We give him an applause. Yes. All righty, come on, fellas, take us to the next one. We're almost done.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty then. The man captured in the widely circulated video hopping over the bench of a Nevada judge refused to appear in court on Thursday. I'm sorry. Deborah Redden was seen cursing and then attacking Clark County District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus during his sentencing on Wednesday. A court officer and another man attempted to separate them. Chaos ensued inside the courtroom, leading to someone to activate the alarm. Bystanders could be heard saying that the judge hit her head on the wall. When Holthus finally stood up, she appeared to be shaken up, and a group of men escorted her out. It appeared to be. Sister girl was good and shaken up when she got up. You hear me? Good and shaken up for real. Prior to the shocking assault, the 30-year-old was set to be sentenced after copping a plea to reduce charges of attempted battery with substantial bodily harm charge, KSNB reported. A prosecutor suggested a prison sentence due to his lengthy rap sheet, which includes domestic violence and home invasion. However, Redden tried to persuade the judge that he had turned his life around, secured a job, and was in a better place in the mind, according to the report. In addition, the defendant's attorney pushed for a suspended sentence, considering his mental health due to his client being recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. The attorney mentioned the other plans, like how his client wants to seek his high school diploma. I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else, Holthus said before Redden decided to strike her. Redden, who was held on $54,000 bail, declined to show up for court for new charges and is now expected to stand before a judge for a preliminary hearing on January 9th, which was today, according to the Associated Press. Court's reps told the outlet, that was yesterday, that the judge was injured but not transported to a hospital. However, an officer had to be treated for a wound on his head and injured shoulder, according to KTNV. Court records indicate that Judge Holthus presided over a recent case involving Redden for malicious destruction of property, which was still in court as of October. Clark County District Attorney Wilson said that the team is working to determine Redden's charges, stating that he's been violent his entire adult life, per the outlet. Clark County District Court is reportedly reviewing its safety protocols. I bet you they didn't see that one coming. Oh my God! Now that right there was something else. Your thoughts on that?
Well, one thing. I don't know how he jumped like that.
I don't know how he jumped over that.
Because Michael Jordan back in the day, he would run and then get momentum. But this dude, it was almost like it wasn't real. I thought it was. I was like, what? How did he get off the floor like that?
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I'm gonna say is the little guy with the dark hair was hitting him. He wasn't hurting. He was like, stop, get off the judge, get off him, don't hit her no more. Like, boy, you better suck.
One guy was like this.
Now, one guy was tearing him
up. He was tearing him up. He'll be
the other guy, he was like, But I guess he was doing the best he can because everybody was in shock. I was in shock and I live in Daytona. Like,
and when she got up, her little hair was messed up.
It was messed up.
She was talking about the boy got wings.
What she's
Forget Red Bull. That crazy gives you wings. Yes, it does, Jasmine.
Oh, I know.
He was everywhere. I've never seen anything like
that.
Never
in my life.
He got all the way over, and the judge's podium is high. It's just up high. I'm like, how did he get way up there?
Something. It was, I don't know.
And Joe was right on top of her. And she got all messed up. She was
he got a little. He took it down.
He got a licking. I'm sorry, but it was funny because he came out of nowhere. Yes, he did, like Superman.
It didn't seem real until I heard him whooping him, and I didn't tow him up over to the side.
Oh yeah, they beat the tail out.
They beat him, but then I was like, sir,
right.
And the judge was right what she said about him.
Mm-hmm.
She was right.
She was right. She was right
yeah.
now.
She was right now. I know I ain't agree with a whole lot of stuff tonight, but I'm gonna have to agree with her. She was right. You don't need to be out with people in society. If you can leap like that, what's it like in a single bound?
Single bound.
Like, good gracious. I'm glad the judge okay.
Right.
That girl was doing her job. She didn't expect for nobody
Yes,
to
she
leave.
was. But now you have to admit that was one of the funniest things I have seen. I watched it like 4 or 5 times just to see it go. It was like somebody did a meme where they put bowling sound. Like somebody
I didn't see that one.
I have to find it. Oh my God. It was funny though. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, take us to our last one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Ooh, that was funny. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let me get to it. All right, this is our last one. We all know we like to end with history. Mae Edward Chin is renowned for her work in medical research. In 1926, she became the first African-American woman to graduate from Bellevue Hospital Medical College, now NYU School of Medicine. She was born on April 15, 1896 to William Lafayette Chin and Lula Ann Evans in Massachusetts. Chin's mother eventually worked for the Tiffany family of jewels in New York City, New York. The close relationship that her mother had with her employers helped provide Mae a strong educational and cultural experience, especially in music. In the 11th grade, however, Chin dropped out of school and never earned a high school diploma. The lack of an official diploma did not stop Chin from applying for admission to the Columbia Teachers College, where she first studied music. The racist remarks of her music teacher led her to change her major to her second love, science. In 1921, Mae Edward Chin was awarded her Bachelor of Science degree while working full-time as a medical laboratory technician. Her love for medicine led her to study, at Bellevue Hospital Medical College. She graduated from that institution in 1926. Following graduation, Chin completed her internship at Harlem Hospital, also becoming the first African-American woman to do so, and would later become the first African-American woman to be granted hospital privileges at Harlem Hospital. With her last name being of Asian descent and her skin being of a lighter color, many people believe Chin to be of Chinese descent. If this were true, it would have drastically helped her career. For instance, under the assumption that she was Chinese, Chin was offered a fellowship position at Rockefeller University. However, this offer was withdrawn when they learned of her African heritage. These discriminatory practices in the healthcare field limited Chin's prospects of working in a hospital. So she opened her own practice. You better go, girl. Here, she developed the curiosity surrounding cancer detection. Having seen far too many elderly patients with that diagnosis, which was usually a death sentence, the same practice that limited Chin's work in the medical field also hampered her access to research information about her patients. To learn more about the procedure being used and thus furthering her research, Chin went with her patients into their medical appointments. Her experiences in medicine prompted her to return to school and earn a master's degree in public health from Columbia University in 1933. Following her graduation from Columbia, Chin began working with medical researcher George, I can't say his last name, who was working on a test for cervical cancer screening that is now called a pap smear. In 1944, Chin accepted a position at the Strange Cancer Clinic Tuesday afternoon clinic and later accepted a staff position at their New York infirmary, where she remained until her retirement in 1974. During her tenure at this Strange Center clinic, Chin pushed for research in advanced cancer screenings and developed a protocol for cancer probability predictions using family medical history. For her work in cancer detection, Mae Edward Chin, was also awarded a membership into the New York Academy of Sciences in 1954. Referenced by the New York City Cancer Committee and the American Cancer Society in 1957, and was awarded an honorary doctorate by Columbia University in 1980. She also helped found the Susan Smith McKinney Stewart Medical Society. Mae Edward Chin never married and had no children, though she became the godmother to many. She passed away on December 1st, 1980 in New York City at the age of 84. For her work in cancer detection, Mae Edward Chin was also awarded the membership into the New York Academy of Sciences. Oh, I already read that. All righty. I mean, listen, this lady Chia did her thing, and it's amazing that the very things that we experience now that saves lives of people for early detection, she did it. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I just think she's amazing. I said the past man, like, wow, some of that stuff that we as women have to,
Mhm.
go through. When I read her story, I said, and she was beautiful, she was smart,
Mhm.
and she did not let segregation or whatever stop her from pursuing what she was called and destined to do.
Mhm.
So I mean, I had never heard of Anita, to be honest.
Either I hadn't either.
I never
And,
heard of
that's
her.
why that's what I love about us going into history. I love to be able to find these stories and share them because it makes such a difference for us to know that we have had people of color who created these things. I mean, we know it, but it's not talked about often. And I love the Grace with her story. Yes, I love that. So we definitely are applauding her and in her memory for the incredible contributions to society. And that we can get pap smears and have early detection of cervical cancer.
Mhm.
Awesome. So that's our last one, y'all. Woo, sorry, we ran over a little bit. I knew we were gonna talk long on Cat. I knew it was.
Yeah,
I was
it's been
prepared.
good.
But it's time for us to go. So we're getting ready to wind down. But before you go, we want to ask you to do a few things for us. The video you're watching is on Facebook, YouTube, and it's also on X, formerly known as Twitter. So please, ma'am, please, sir, hit that like button, subscribe button, hit that share button. We want you to subscribe, like, and share all over all platforms. Please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button and share it with somebody. The other thing we want you to do is please stop right now and sow a seed. If everyone could sow a seed into Movement Worldwide, it would be greatly appreciated. Good seed into good soil. You can sow via Cash App, that's $ Movement Worldwide. You can sow via Zelle info@movementworldwide.org or become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org, and you can click on the button that says become a patron. It'll take you to patreon.com, set up your account, and you can set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day, $2.80 a week. So please, ma'am, please, sir, sow good seed into good soil. The other thing is everywhere you see the globe above Annette's head, please hit that. Please follow us on our social media platforms. And you can also email us your thoughts, views, comments, praise reports, and prayer requests, topic ideas to info@movementworldwide.org. Now, let me give you the rundown. On Tuesday nights, Annette, I saw them on Tuesday night. I tuned in on Tuesday night with the Andersons. They're all boot up, da 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 da, boot up, all snuggly, past their first lady-ish. So please visit Annette's website at AnnetteLAnderson.com, where you can find her organization called SOAR. They graced us with their presence with TNT with the Andersons on Tuesday nights. And what does TNT stand for? I'm glad you asked. TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That's speak, orate, articulate, and I'm doing the rewind.
Yeah. Yes.
Where we speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate. So tune in Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. live on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. And then listen, we got it going on. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. On Wednesday nights, come right back here, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Right back here each and every Wednesday. We're here without fail. We come in and we have a fun conversation, threefold conversation. Let your hair down, no big eyes, no little U's, giving you all. We go all around the world and starting with our idioms and phrases, the topics, the ideas, all of those things that make you go, And that's the transformational topic. And then the next going to rip that Band-Aid off and have the power tool. And then we go from the news, the good, bad, and the ugly, keeping it light, but keeping it real with our incredible, famous tea time topics. So please tune in Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. live, Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And you can tune into our show. And then on Fridays, y'all, Friday nights is the bomb on Clubhouse in the Movers and Shakers house. We got it going on up in there. You should be there. You got to be there to experience it. So download the app, find us, look for me, look for Annette, look for the globe, and you will see us on there. But if you are technologically challenged, can't quite figure it out, we want you to do this. Bam! Text the word movers to 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. All right. Text the word movers to 954-820-5050. You'll get a link into the room in progress. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you click that link, it'll take you to a page that will allow you to click into the room. Or, on the notification, we tell you, download that app and you'll get the notification. It'll notify you. So please join us on Friday nights at 8 p.m. in the Movers and Shakers house for our fiery conversation with the best mods this side of heaven. And then on Sundays, join us right back here live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter, for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction, where there is always, Annette,
ways.
But there is always a word for you. Your last thoughts, woman of God.
All right. Like Anita started off tonight, say, I feel like running. And I can relate to that. I feel like running tonight. So thank y'all so much for sharing with us.
All righty then. Well, without further ado, we love y'all, but we gotta go.
We gotta go, yeah. We gotta go.
We froze. But anyway, I'm gonna throw up this heart and I'm gonna blow my kisses. And we're gonna see y'all later.
Bye, everyone.
And then I think you got to do it because I'm frozen.
Okay. All right.